Welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy for Civil Services. Today we are into our second lesson. I hope our last video lecture was very good. So let's start our next lesson. So I'll do revision module Science and Technology lecture 2 today. We have done lecture 1 before. Please try to put your comments, whatever you feel like, whether you want it, whether you do not want it, how was the voice, the background, or whatever it is. Please do let us know so that we can easily be able to understand what are the errors that are happening from our side. So let's start our first topic of the day. The outbreak of a lumpy skin disease in a cattle in certain parts of Odisha has prompted the most famous country today called China to issue a warning against importing cattle. Basically, there is a disease called lumpy skin disease. It happens only in cattle. I repeat, it happens only in cattle. Okay, it's very specific. It doesn't happen in humans. So tomorrow if they ask you, please remember it happens only in cattle. So China has taken a concern about it, although it should have done for human diseases, which it didn't do, but it's so interested in animals because it don't like humans. Anyways, moving on to our topic. Lumpy skin is an infectious disease. That means it can spread. So tomorrow if they give you in prelim, please remember it's an infectious disease which damages the height and may result in chronic debilitation, reduced milk production, poor growth, infertility, and sometimes death. Please do understand, we raise cattle for a reason. We want cattle to produce milk. They should grow faster and they should produce more offspring so that we are able to reap on the economic benefit of cattle. And this particular disease inhibits, it stops such things. At present, it's only in cattle. No buffalo has been affected. The government has put up proper quarantine measures. I know each of you do understand the meaning of the word quarantine today more than any meaning that you have understood in your life, because the word is so famous now. Okay, so all of them, government has taken a proper quarantine measures. Sorry. What is this disease? Lumpy skin disease. It's a very devastating disease for cattle and buffalo, although right now it's only in cattle in India. Caused by a virus called Capri pox virus. First detected in Zambia. Most of the diseases are detected in Africa. God knows what is the conspiracy and the controversy behind it. Maybe some people are testing their medicine there. It is transmitted between animals by direct contact, via blood feeding insects. Mosquitoes, they are beautiful, they bite us, they suck up blood, then they go on another animal, right? So that's how it can also spread, and in an estrogenously it can also basically spread. The virus is very host specific. That means it does not cause any disease in humans, lead to illness, and there are so many other ways. This particular can spread even by using certain instrument which was used on one animal. If that animal had it, if it is using some other animal, that animal will also have it. Vaccination of the cattle is the most effective option for controlling the spread. So please remember, for prelims, just repeat once: lumpy skin diseases, virus named Capri pox, only in cattle, not in humans, infectious. India and China are loggerheads. That's basically we are doing a bishum bishum. We do bishum bishum with China. I have told in this class also, okay, why do we love China so much? Over a specific traditional medicine which is known as Sowa Rigpa. Sowa Rigpa. It's basically a kind of a medicine system like Ayurveda, Unani, or whatever it is, right? The whole Ayush. So the majority of the theory and the practice of Sowa Rigpa is similar to Ayurveda. That's why India claims it. This is basically a Tibetan medicine system practiced in many parts of the country, Ladakh, Sikkim, Darjeeling, wherever there are Tibetans present. Please remember for your prelims, it's not a part of Ayurveda. It is like Ayurveda. Like I am not Shah Rukh Khan. I am like Shah Rukh Khan, right? If you remember, India has sought the recognition of the ancient medicine under intangible cultural heritage, but obviously China basically is fighting with India. You cannot claim it because it belongs to us. Now, what do you mean by Sova Rigpa? It's commonly known as Amchi system of medicine, oldest living, well documented. Bodies of all the living beings and non-living beings, objects of the universe composed of Prithvi, Jal, Agni, Vayu, Akash. This medicine and the diet is used to treat the disorders, right? Basically, you know how this basically medicine develops. Logically understand the body and how the disease is caused, and then they tackle the disease. It is being recognized by government of India, but now we want to claim a intangible cultural heritage, so that tomorrow when see today when anyone speak about Ayurveda, it's directly they speak about Indian X. The same way we also want tomorrow if someone speaking about Sova Rigpa, they should speak about us. The National Institute of Sova Rigpa is coming up at Leh Ladakh. Now, what is UNESCO concept of intangible cultural heritage? See, intangible cultural heritage which cannot be measured but which is very much of significance. It's quite famous and it brings a lot of recognition. So you know UNESCO has come out with this concept called intangible cultural heritage like yoga or like this. So where we want to make sure that this particular benefits of this kind of system should be read by our people, should be known by our country, and that's what China is trying to fight with this. ONGC wound up its shale exploration. I hope you all understand. Long back we studied about shale gases. These are gases trapped within the rock, thousands of meters below the surface. After the exploration of shale gas in US energy reserves completely turned around. The whole oil market probably about to crash. So India was also in this probably run for exploration that we will have shale gases, but ONGC, which is our official PSU, they stop it. We thought that basically this particular shale gas in our country would also help us to solve India's energy crisis. American shale revolution, how it turned US into the largest producer of oil and gas. And this is very important that this particular thing would have also helped us. Now this shale gas, if you look at in US Permian Shale Basin, it's well known across the world. The US shale gas rocks are brittle and easier to go for hydraulic fracturing, where what they do is that they dig deep holes, then they push water inside, which will break the rock and the gas comes out. This is trapped and used. Whereas India's shale rocks are very elastic and clay in content. So what might happen is that if we try to use water here, first of all, it may not break away. It might just slowly get stretched, which is not good for us to basically use the gas. Second thing, clay content, dirt, cleaning is, and so these are very costly processes. Okay, so that's why ONGC officially, after spending close to around 500-600 crores in places like Andhra Pradesh, Orissa and Assam, they didn't do Kaveri Godavari basin because there was a lot of opposition in Tamil Nadu about it. ONGC officially said that our estimates are around widely from 187 cubic feet of shale gas in 5 basins, in compared to US of around 584 trillion cubic feet of shale gas. And that's a very big difference in terms of money as well as making economically viable. You're talking about something that should help us economically as well as environmentally, should replace oil, and that's not the easy thing. So that's why ONGC officially told the US government, our government, that they'll not be able to extract the shale gas. So guys, this is done for today. Please do let me know in case you find any errors, voice or anything that you feel should be known, please do let us know. We'll be happy to solve this issue. We'll do more topics. There are SNT revision modules, then we'll do current affairs revision modules, and then we'll do Yojana, Kurukshetra, and all that coming up very soon. Thank you. Good day. Bye bye.